Councillor West.
Thank you.
15, monthly operational playground inspection report.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to point out the typo.
Right, as you now know, this is carried out by Clements Play Management Limited. They inspected all the areas on the 15th of January. Mr. Clements did it himself. My findings are as follows. This is for the fenced enclosure. They haven't got copies of it?
Yes, we've got
Oh,
copies.
you've all got copies of it?
Yeah.
Right, okay, fine. And there's a summary. You'll see there's a summary at the bottom which brings it to a conclusion, yeah? I'll read the summary out so residents can hear this. The play areas are in good general order. The cradle swing seat will need replacing soon. The activity trail has been made safe as a temporary measure pending replacement. Repainting of the train, gates and BMX support frames will need to be done in the spring. The seesaw element of the BMX track is being chewed by dogs or foxes and will need to be smoothed down or replaced. 1 litter bin liner is required. Graffiti on shelters and skate ramps needs to be removed where possible. Councillor West.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, two small points. The January the 15th, 2015 4 is a typo.
Oh, I know it.
Right?
Not
And as we keep getting no ownership sign, I would propose that we get a sign made, but we would also need to have a contact phone number on the sign, even for out of hours. So we would need to issue somebody with a telephone who could be contacted.
What, in the main play area?
On the side of the main, on the fence of the main play area, because it says quite clearly no ownership sign. So we would need to get a sign made saying this play equipment is owned by Arlesey Town Council. During office hours, please contact the office. Out of office hours for an emergency, please contact, and then put a phone number on.
Nothing wrong with that one.
I'd like to propose it.
That's seconded. An ownership sign on the main play area, so that residents know who to contact if there should be a problem. Yeah? Okay. Is that going to be on your... Right. Now, item 16 again. World War I Garden of Remembrance. This is to approve the creation of a World War I Garden of Remembrance at the cemetery as recommended by the Property Committee meeting of the 20th of January. Now, I wasn't at the Property Committee meeting of the 20th of January, and obviously there's been 2 other speakers about the same subject. I would also like to read out an email from ex-councillor Duncan Wang. They have got it. Right, well, I'll read it out anyway so that everyone can hear. So obviously bear this in mind as well when you're considering this proposal. Regarding the council meeting of the 3rd of February, agenda items 4 and 16. These 2 related agenda items are to approve a British Legion proposal for a memorial garden at the cemetery as recommended by the Property Committee. This is the first I've heard of the proposal. It is strange that the council didn't contact the Arlesey Remembers You project to see if we had any thoughts on the proposal. Had you done so, you would have found that the Arlesey Remembers You project had made considerable progress on a properly researched plan for a memorial copse near the Blue Lagoon. The intended copse is a memorial to the fallen of both wars, unlike the British Legion proposal. We did consider the cemetery as a location, but we have been advised that it was not suitable for the trees. In addition, we felt that it wouldn't be visited by people because of the location. Did the council consider the last point? The Chairman needs to investigate why we were not consulted and make public the reasons for ignoring us. Arlesey Remembers You progressed the idea after I presented a suggestion from Jodie Chillery to the council, which was received with muted enthusiasm. The fact now we have 2 proposed memorial gardens puts the town council in a very bad light, because it shows how out of touch the council is with the community it purports to serve. What is more, our plan has considerable backing from the community and is fully funded by donations, so there will be no additional cost to the council. We have a meeting on the 10th of February to finalise the remaining details of our plan, after which it is likely that we would be in a position to announce the fact we have a properly worked out plan befitting the remembrance of the fallen. Regrettably, we have had to make known the outline of our plan in a less than satisfactory way. The Arlesey Remembers You project has achieved great things, of which I reported to the council in December. I concluded that report with a reference to ongoing ideas. The council are well aware that the Arlesey Remembers You project is still alive. Words fail me to adequately describe the feelings of the Arlesey Remembers You project team after learning that we were not consulted. Suffice to say, the members of the project are deeply hurt, offended and disappointed with your lack of proper consideration and consultation. Your actions have tainted an otherwise outstanding success for the village. Yours faithfully, Duncan Wang, who was the project coordinator of the Arlesey Remembers You project, as you will all be aware.
Mr. Chair, 2 small
Councillor West.
Right, first and foremost, we approached the Royal British Legion and asked them to get involved with the World War I Remembrance Garden. There was a proposal that came from me, okay? And the reason I brought that proposal to you is because at Stotfold they have a Garden of Remembrance, which is something there that the residents can go and visit quite clearly. So I'm not trying to cause any dissension between anybody and belittling anybody else's project. It was just something so that the people of the village could go somewhere to somewhere peaceful and quiet, similar to what they've got in Stotfold, right, as a permanent place of remembrance. Okay, there was no malice intended. Okay, and I am quite, and I've said it's caused offence. I am very sorry. I did not wish to bring anybody into offence or bring the Legion into disrepute. Okay, because the Legion do a fantastic job in supporting our ex-service men and women in this country. Okay, and so does SAFA, and so do all the different military organisations that are about. Okay, so before anyone says anything, the Legion, we asked the Legion to get involved, okay, and not the other way around. Okay, and I brought it here because Stotfold have got a Garden of Remembrance at Stotfold attached to their cemetery, and that's why I brought it here.
Okay, so have you heard everything? Everyone heard everything that's been said about this?
Confused. When you say we, who do you mean we, Dave, Councillor West?
I brought it here to this council, right? So this council, we, okay, the council, can make an approach, say yes or no. That's why I brought it to the council, right? Because Stotfold have got a garden work with their council.
I did hear that twice.
Okay, right. But we also have a tree budget. I believe there's a tree budget of about £400. On the Environmental Committee. I thought it was one tree and dog, it says.
So Councillor West, the board proposal to council without meaning to cause any offence. Obviously, you've heard the varying opinions, so we have to make a decision on where we go with this. So Councillor Contra, are you starting with this?
Yeah, but from the information that we've received, and from what we've heard this evening, my understanding is that the Arlesey Remember project have been liaising with the British Legion also, so I'm totally confused, and I don't think it's actually appropriate to have 2 separate areas. I believe that it should actually be one area. I think it becomes difficult if you have 2 different memorial areas.
Yeah, I mean the proposal was for a rose garden at the cemetery. That was from the British Royal Legion representative. And then Arlesey remembers you like a tree cross
I do
at
recall,
the Blue Lagoon,
I do recall
proposed country park.
that Arlesey Remembers You project coming to council. I can't remember precisely when, but it was way back, because they'd have a donation of trees from
Yeah.
the Woodland
Yeah,
Trust.
they're right here, and
Yeah,
I'll
so
pass
I
on
do
to them.
recall that was discussed at council and actually agreed.
Yeah, it seems that inadvertently we've now got two different proposals without wishing to cause division. Councillor Holway, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I think it's unclear to me where the £300 is going to come from. Do we, does the council pay for that?
Can you speak up, Mick? Can't
Sorry?
hear you. Can you speak up?
I don't think he could hear you.
Sorry. A few questions. One is whether the money for the roads, where does the £300 come from? Have we got to find that?
Well, there's a budget for trees,
So that the
so it could
council-
come from that.
We have already, the council agreed what we're going to do about the garden. So I share his concerns about mixed messages and having two own fund. If we're going to do this, to incorporate the rose garden with the costs, I think it would be a single point of access.
Any other opinions on this? I can understand how people are feeling that there's like two proposals and it's not sort of synchronised message that we're giving out. One proposal is for the Blue Lagoon, the other one's at the cemetery. I like both ideas. I like the idea of one at something at the cemetery. But it's a question of how we resolve it. So,
I'll take a motion that.
has anybody else got anything to contribute? Councillor Clapham?
I wonder now it's all come out, and everybody knows about each proposal, whether the British Legion and the Arlesey Remember You people can discuss it between them and come to some mutual agreement.
I think you've got to remember that the Arlesey Remembers
Can I just ask if we can suspend standing orders just to involve a few questions to some of the representatives?
Yes.
Because otherwise we can't really bring it to a conclusion. Can I, Mr Harper, can you answer some of the
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. The reason it was brought to us to find out about because Stockport have got a garden. Well, garden, I haven't got a remembrance garden. They've got a garden which they put in some years ago, which celebrated the 75 years of the British Legion. And that has nothing to do with World War I.
apologies?
It was to do with that. So I went over there and had a look, and they got a nice rose garden, laid out for people to have a look at. And I was asked by the council if I'd look at it, and that was the reason I came back and said the rose garden would be quite nice down the cemetery. We the British Legion have got nothing actually to do with it in a sense. It was the council who wanted the rose garden, not the British Legion. I was asked if we could put forward our ideas to do it.
Well, my memory, I thought this had been planned with the Arlesey Remembers You project way back. I can't remember the exact dates, but I can remember hearing that this was what
The council took receipt of the trees.
Mr Harper, has there been communication between the two groups?
No.
Not on this,
There
not on
was
this.
a communication between the groups when the trees were
About the
first,
trees, yes.
and I was asked if I knew anywhere where the trees could be put, and I looked at it from Acorn at that particular time, with the Acorn hat on, that the trees could be put the other side of the river,
Station.
next to the car park, make a nice line of trees there, where people be able to see them all the time when they went to the cars or the station.
Yeah, and the landowner in the end decided that it would be inaccessible to the public, so not appropriate. So that's right. Hugh did help with that, and it in the end it didn't work out. Is kind of what that, wasn't it?
Yes, that's it. And then I was told that they were proposing to put it up at the Blue Lagoon, but from that point on, I've had nothing to do with
Yeah,
it.
and that's true. I think the obvious thing to do is why don't we have a rose garden at the Blue Lagoon? If that's what the council wants.
Can I just ask Councillor Logano, is this just Country Park definitely going to go ahead?
Right, well, the letters I've received on Friday from Mr Wilson's land agent, okay, is very positive. Are you talking to Mr Packworth or Mr Wilson?
No, we're talking
to Jay Foley,
Jay
who's
Foley.
Jay
responsible.
Fox,
Yeah.
okay, he's a licensee.
Yeah.
I've been talking to Jay and have regular meetings with him, but also with the landowners that he licenses,
Yeah.
Yeah.
probably from, and the land agent as well.
Yeah.
So we're very positive that that is going to come off. There is funds with the Blue Lagoon Channel Board, okay, we'll be looking to invest those funds as well. What I would say is, with maybe an offer you might want to take up, Central Bedfordshire Council Countryside Access Team are going to be leading on the development of the country park and the infrastructure that's going in. We also have a tree nursery, and we provide trees for these sort of things and for community woods and etc. etc. So whilst you've got 80 odd trees and some more, maybe an opportunity to substantially increase that. And I'm happy to work with officers and see if we can get you some more trees that are free. And obviously we're quite lucky we've got community trees at Arlesey.
Well, they're the company I was talking about. They're on board.
That provide trees. So I'm looking to have, in terms of the permissive footpaths that we're looking to put in, we're in negotiations now with Mr Wilson and his land agent, okay, and then we'll tie those deals up with Mr Foley as well, and then we can probably push this through quite quickly. This land agent that he's written to me is we'd like to expedite it very quick, so we hope to get things moving fast, and we will bring in the town council here and the local parish councils consulting this so we get an agreement and a way forward as quick as we can.
What? I've got a plan. You'd like to see the plan. And when I spoke to Jay earlier on, last week, the trees that we've already got, he's hoping to get in March, because it's the perfect planting time, obviously. I shan't bore everyone, but we've got quite a nice plan here. And it is a copse with a monolith in the middle and some seating areas, kind of random. We've also got some seeds that have been given to us from Grow Britain, which is a free initiative, some poppy seeds and stuff. I'm sure that we can incorporate a rose garden into it as well. There's plenty of room. It's a huge area. And he wanted to build some, with amenity trees, he dropped the plan, they wanted to build some gates to make it a slightly more formal area. So I think there's no reason why both ideas couldn't work together, and we could make it much better than Stockfold's garden.
Yes, that's what we want. Yeah, surely.
No, I'm being facetious, but you get the point I'm making. If the council and have asked the British Legion to come up with an idea, then I think that maybe we should talk to the British Legion, and I think having Remembrance Roses is brilliant.
What I would ask you, if I could give your details to the officer that's actually dealing with the project at the council, so that we make sure that the permissive footpaths that we're putting in actually go near that. There's no point.
And I think that was Jay's idea. I think Jay's already
Yeah.
taken that into consideration, the area that he's planned. So yeah, that's been thought of.
Any further thoughts when you've heard?
Before you bring that
Oh,
down,
sorry, my
can I just
apologies.
make one point? I just wonder, would it not be nice to have a rose garden at the cemetery anyway? Not necessarily remembrance, but don't we want to make
No, I
that
was
look a better
thinking a
place?
similar sort of thing, because it would be nice to have something at the cemetery.
Well, yeah, but you know, it doesn't have to be called the same sort of thing, but perhaps just a reflection area or something, because it just makes the cemetery nicer, because it's a bit of a bare area down there now anyway, so I'm just wondering whether the rose garden down there was nice.
As that lady points out, there could be a rose garden cemetery without a plaque or anything. You could just you know, be something nice and attractive that you see when you walk in. It would be nice if the other idea, if the you know, the Arlesey Members Youth project is obviously going to be very popular.
It is, yeah.
And there's a lot of work being done on it. So there definitely needs to be a commitment for that to work, really.
I think so,
And possibly with some involvement from the British Legion as well up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and as I said, the British Legion have been supportive and involved in the project, you know, in other aspects of the project anyway, so it makes sense to
So that's not to say that we still couldn't install a rose garden at the cemetery, because that could be done irrespective of the overlay up the country park.
I'd be quite happy to help with that up the
I'm
cemetery.
sure you would, yeah. I'm sure you would. So are we more or less in agreement then that that's what we'll... So the proposal is that, my proposal is that we have a small rose garden at the entrance to the cemetery, but also very much endorse the idea of Arlesey Members You and ECOS. And then work with them to try and bring that into fruition. Yeah. Okay. That make everybody a bit happier.
Mr. Chair, if that's your
Where's Duncan? Are you happier?
Mr. Chairman, have you got any comments to make?
I think out of the way the project was first announced to me was not the best way of addressing the issue, so perhaps had you consulted, we would have come to a much more amicable arrangement. As it is, it looks as if we've come to a very amicable arrangement, and I thank the Council for the support of our project.
Right, okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to propose on recommencement of standing orders, and then I'd like to second your proposal.
Okay, thank you. Right, excellent. So we'll move on, and we'll move on to 17, and then we'll...
No, Nick, you proposed something, I've seconded it. It's
already been agreed. You proposed it, you said.
Yeah, no, the other councillors got to agree and vote it.
I think they're in agreement. You're in agreement, David?
We are.
Okay.
Agenda item 17 is allotments. To approve that the ground staff compost garden rubbish at the Stockport Road Longford site, and a chipper is hired when needed once the ground staff have attended a training course, as recommended by the Property Committee on the 20th of January. You're in agreement with that?
Well, I did ask the place time management system, so that at the end of the year we can look back and see whether it was so, and a project that was very good, but had a code that we can look time on.
I spoke to Andrew, and he does put down on his time sheet the amount of time he spent doing things, so we can pick it up from there.
18, Christmas lights. To approve that a working party is set up to look at the cost and feasibility of having Christmas lights in the village, as recommended by the GP and Finance Committee meeting of the 20th of January. I believe this is an idea of Councillor Orban's. So are we, is there anything you wish to add to that, or should we just ask for approval? Yeah, you need to know who's going to be on the working party, and obviously Councillor Orban.
There's the members of the public which would like to get involved.
All right.
Anyone on the council want to get involved?
Mr. Chair, two things. One, we need to set a budget line, okay? And two, I'll get involved. Okay?
Any other councillor wish to be involved? So two councillors.
I know there's quite a few residents.
Okay. You will let, that's a class. So generally then we're approving that suggestion. Councillor Delgado wishes to comment.
Just a bit of guidance, Councillor Orban. Can I suggest you actually talk to Henlow Parish Council?
I've already spoken.
Already know. Good. Regarding the Christmas tree lights.
So I've spoken to David Wayne, I think, and Greg and if we need it.
19. We will do. West Drive. Councillor Clapham to give an update on the West Drive S106 money.
Right, well, it started off with 5,600 of Fairfield 106 money, and there's been emails going backwards and forwards between David Leverington and Chris Nichols and all the people involved. I keep urging, and so does Councillor Holloway, that it's the lighting in West Drive that is the essential part, but they do seem to feel that they need to do a lot of the other works. I mean, I can read out some of the stuff if you want, but it's only regarding servicing and...
I mean, from what I've seen of the emails, and I've only sort of caught a glimpse of them, it does seem there's a commitment to improve the lighting and also the safety of the road as well.
Yeah.
To get the work done as quickly as we possibly can. And the officers are very aware of our concerns that it's not happening up to date. So then David Leverington and Chris Nichols are very keen to get this one done and completed as quickly as possible.
So the only money that I've seen actually that they've got anything about is the £2,685.20 to remove the concrete that lighting post for the columns, the 18 columns. I had that email recently. Apart from that, there's no mention of actual money.
Well, the previous email, I think it was at least £60,000 that was allocated towards that one. The main balance going towards the bus service.
Mr. Leverton believes that we can get all the works done within that budget.
And it will be coming out of that. It will happen, basically.
No, it sounds positive, doesn't it?
Yes.
Good. Okay, councillors, are we happy now to go back to agenda item 12? Councillor Baines is settled into his seat. Agenda item 12 is finance. 12A is the income and expenditure from October 14. This has been outstanding for a while now to receive for approval a copy of the detailed report of income and expenditure for month 7. I believe Councillor Baines wishes to talk about this.
There's three reasons, primary reasons why at the moment I feel uncomfortable about some expenditure accounts up. So issue number one, there are a number of budget lines within the income and expenditure account which have got expenditure against it but no budget. And the second one was